Hi everyone, Matthew Donovan here. Day 8 of learning Czech. Really good day today. I ended up going to see the lady in my building who speaks Czech, and I talked to her for just over an hour, probably closer to an hour and a half, and we went over all sorts of things. I basically said most, or if not all of the words that I know, and then we just went over pronunciation. There are a few letters or groupings of letters that I still can't get the pronunciation for, but I'm not worried. I was listening to someone online, and they basically said, let's take any individual in the world. If they had been born in, say, China, they would have grown up and learned how to speak Mandarin, and they'd be able to make every single sound in Mandarin. So it's nonsense, it's absurd to say that just because you grew up in Canada, you can't pronounce sounds in Mandarin. It's just a matter of learning them. But every single individual is capable of learning these sounds. So I'm not dejected. I am not losing hope. They're just things that at this point in time I don't know how to say, but I will get better. Anyways, so I went through and talked with her, went over the numbers, and she taught me how to say positions, right? So I could say 1, 2, 3. She was teaching me how to say first, second, third, things like that. We also went over different declensions. Anyone who speaks, say, German might know that there's the accusative, the dative, the genitive, and the nominative cases. There's 4 cases. In Czech, there are 7 cases. So she was just going over that and trying to show me how the different endings worked, but obviously at this point I don't know anything about the parts of speech or where they fit in, so that was a bit over my head at this point. But it was a good hour and a half, lots of input. Definitely lots of input, and just learn different ways to say things, the formal way, the informal way, and things like that. I have a lot to work on going forward. I also went over, I just went to Google Translate, and I typed in a whole bunch of basic phrases that I'd like to know how to say. For example, I live in Canada, I am a student, I study math and business, I like to learn languages, I like to read. Just basic things like that to sort of identify who I am, and these are the types of things that will typically come up in a beginner conversation. Also, something yesterday that I found is called the Add One challenge, and the whole premise it's an interesting concept. As I said, Add One challenge. Just type that into Google and you'll find more information. But the basic premise was someone was giving a talk, and he said, okay, if you want to speak 10 languages, there are 2 parts. Okay, so part 1 is speak 9 languages, and part 2 is learn 1 more. And of those 2, which is easier, right? Is it easier to speak 9 languages or to learn 1 more? So that learning 1 more was the easy bit, and you can take that all the way back. If you speak 1 language, you want to speak 2 languages, well, speaking 1 is step 1, and then step 2 is just learning 1 more. So you translate it all the way back, and it really comes down to every step of the way is just add 1, right? Add 1 language. And not exactly related here. As I said, I'm already motivated to learn Czech and make progress, but it was just interesting to see their approach on how it works. And the Add 1 challenge, it's a 90-day challenge, and what you do is you just go through, and at the end of 90 days, your goal is to have a 15-minute conversation with a native speaker in that language. So I haven't done any research, but I know there's a website, italki, and on that website you're able to have communications back and forth with people in their native language. I think this is also possible on Link, the site that I'm using, but I don't know. Czech is just a beta language, it's not fully supported, so I don't know if I'll be able to talk to anyone through Link, but definitely talking maybe even once a week, just a half-hour short conversation. Even if I make a whole bunch of mistakes or I don't know lots of words, I think that's a great way to go, and I'd like to turn this little mini-series into that. So the goal, I think, every once in a while, I'd like to have a conversation with a native speaker for 15 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour, however long. Just record that and see where I go from here. Also, as I said, I'd like to listen to podcasts and the news and things like that, but just going today and speaking for an hour and 15 minutes, having all sorts of input, I really enjoyed that. I think it was a great day, and I'm looking forward tomorrow I think I'll go over the numbers. We outlined, or we observed that I'm unable to say 3 and 4. The pronunciation at the start of 3 and 4 I can't say. Every other number I can say, but 3 and 4 I fail miserably. But we'll make progress eventually. But I'll probably upload the video of myself speaking 1 to 100 and just add a disclaimer at the front saying my pronunciation is going to be pretty bad for about 25-30% of this, but that's okay. Anyways, sort of a ramble today. No real Czech words, but just an overview of how I see this and where I plan to go. I think turning it into a challenge where every once in a while, maybe every 30 days or every 20 days or something, I go and actually speak with a native speaker. It will cost some money to buy their time for half an hour or an hour, but to do that, record that, have them provide feedback, I think that will be a great way to learn. But other than that, definitely a long way to go, but I'm 1 week in and I'm excited and happy, very pleased with the progress that I've made. I think this is a great start, and I'm looking forward to where we go from here. Thanks for watching. Bye.